Hey everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com. Scott, what day is it today?
Today is Hump Day.
That's right, baby. And it's also Maction Hump Day, which is, I don't know, that's the best kind of hump day you have. I kind of feel sad, Scott. This is going to be the last day of our midweek at Maction. Kind of sucks. They're going to go traditional from here and play on the weekend. So
Devastating stuff.
it really is. I really kind of enjoyed our.
I don't know why they would bother, honestly. I feel like this is the best chance they have of actually getting ratings because what other sports are there going to be in the middle of the week?
Who's tuning in Ball State at 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon? Nobody.
Nobody. In fact, it's probably not on TV.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't really get it. I know that a lot of people, especially degenerates on Twitter, have been loving the MAC because how can you not love a lot of points followed by 5-yard punts? But, it's just one of the situations where I love the MAC because if you embrace the chaos as soon as you sit down and watch it, it's one of the greatest experiences you're going to have watching football. If you're expecting high-quality execution, you're going to hate it. But if you already know what you're going to get into, there's really nothing quite like it, is there?
No, I totally agree. I'm a big fan. Obviously, we've done pretty well. We've done okay at the MAC. We've certainly made money.
And
So,
we went 3-1 yesterday.
3-1.
I know I won my play of the day with Kent State team total over. They got
I
there
did,
about.
I did as well. I had Kent State to cover, and on my play of the day as well. I also had Buffalo in the first half. No, I had Kent State in the first
Did
half.
Kent State first half? No,
Couldn't play
Buffalo just didn't cover. Uh,
Kent State couldn't play defense in the first half. Couldn't.
no, I mean
Couldn't
I
stop.
said that if I said that I wasn't really into the full game spread for Kent, but I was a huge fan of the over and the over cashed at halftime.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was fun. It's really amazing how Akron has one guy on offense who's worth anything, and that's a Dollard, who's actually a pretty good running back.
Kind of decent night.
Gibson, I talked about how I thought he was a poser on yesterday's show. So many first down signaling, teams down double digits.
Well,
I can't.
they
He's
were
11
excited
for
there in the
20
first
for
half.
110 yards. I can't support him. He's just so annoying.
They gave them all they wanted in the first half, buddy.
I Dollard did. I don't really think Gibson did anything.
Well, no,
he ran a decent amount, but
yeah, no, that and that party was over. So we've got three more tonight, man, and we had Miami and Ohio cancel. There's I guess there a little bit of a Rona outbreak there.
well, we had a game canceled for yesterday as well, so it's kind of just coming.
There's only one. Was it yesterday that was canceled? I thought it was for today.
I thought there was a game canceled for both.
Mm,
I thought there was.
no, I think who else wouldn't have played? Miami and Ohio.
Never mind. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
the source that I was using listed Miami, Ohio twice.
Get
So
off
my
the,
bad. I
get
thought
off,
that. Yeah,
get
I thought
off
that
the
was
Twitter.
Yeah, you're right.
Get off the Twitter, young buck.
I'm not on Twitter. I'm on this. I'm on this other database, but it listed Miami, Ohio matchup on both Tuesday and Wednesday. So I guess I mentally thought that there were supposed to be 3 games on both. So my bad.
Well, in fairness, they didn't play it either night. So.
Yeah, that's a fair point too.
All right, so let's start off here. We'll kind of get warmed up. This is kind of like a fight card. You got a bad fight, a decent fight, and you got a good fight. So we'll start off with the undercard here as the Northern Illinois Fighting Huskies travel to David Letterman's alma mater to take on the Ball State Cardinals.
What do you think? Is this the first fight on the prelim or the second fight on the prelim?
This is the second fight on the prelim.
Okay.
I think.
It's tough because Northern Illinois, it's prime first prelim fight material. I don't know if you're going to find a team that I don't want to say is underachieved as much as Northern Illinois up to this point, but has just fallen off a cliff faster than Northern Illinois.
No offense, Scotty. None. No.
Ever since they lost Childress, who graduated.
Yeah. No, this is a kind of a down year for them. And it's kind of it's kind of misleading because they put up 30 against Buffalo, but they really put up about 16 against Buffalo because if you go back and you watch at fourth quarter, Buffalo's playing prevent defense. They've got second and third stringers in there, and Northern Illinois is running the ball against the prevent defense for about 8-9 yards a carry. So
that's how you know you're a good team when you're running the ball late in the fourth quarter down 30.
You know what? Don't even talk to me, because that's I had a shot yesterday to get the over, and I know some of our players covered.
I feel like most of your players probably cashed on that one.
Well, I capped it at 60, so of course I got it at the absolute peak there the night before the line came down all day long yesterday. But yeah, that was a situation where they got the ball back, and
We're talking about Bowling. We're talking about Bowling Green.
Talking about Bowling Green against Buffalo. Bowling Green gets the ball back with 2 minutes left. You know, they're down 100 or whatever it is, but you figure they're going to make a showing. They're going to try to get the touchdown there, make themselves feel good. No, they ran 3 plays in 2 minutes. It is just you'd think they were trying to kill the clock. It was dreadful. So just no effort at all there to score. And they actually broke off a run of about 18 yards, got to their own 40. That didn't matter. They didn't care. So that was frustrating to watch. But in this one, we've got, I know you don't like this Ball State defense, and I don't blame you. They've given up points to some bad teams. I think they take care of business here. I don't think that Northern Illinois can get in a shootout with this team. Regardless of how bad the Ball State defense is, I think Northern Illinois ends up shooting themselves in the foot. I don't like that it's gone to 14.5. Obviously, you don't like
it was more just the hook. If it was 14, I'd lean ball. But I
know. You don't like to lay the hook there. I got no other choice in this one. I got no path to victory for Northern Illinois. I don't see them. I'm not going to back a team in this conference that can't play offense. Give me the Ball State Cardinals minus the 14.5. What do you got?
I find this one very, very tricky to bet on, so I'm personally not going to put any money on this game.
Well, I've got a premium on the total, so I don't want to.
Looking at this matchup, I'm going to lean to the over. Ball State just seems like another good over team. They're not Kent State quality over team where they're scoring 60-plus themselves, but Ball State seems to consistently score 30-something, gives up 30-something. Now, is Northern Illinois going to score that many points? Probably not, but I do think that Ball State has a chance to exploit this Northern Illinois defense, potentially score 40, and I do think that Northern Illinois should probably score somewhere in the mid-20s because Ball State defensively really leaves a lot to be desired. Now, is Bowers a good quarterback for Northern Illinois? No. Is this team's offense very good? No. But I do think that they can force some turnovers, get some short fields, and I do think that you should see some big plays, mostly because of Ball State's inability to stop the run. So I think that this total has gone up for a reason. I'm going to back the line movement when in doubt, but I really have no thoughts on this game because Ball State is not a team I want to lay double digits with. I know that Illinois is not a team I really want to watch. So it's not a great matchup from an entertainment perspective.
I think that's a public move. I think that's a donk move going from 60 to 62.5. I don't think 40 from Ball State gets you there. Honestly,
I think it might. Okay. So we'll see. I don't know.
All right, good enough. Toledo, Eastern Michigan. By the way, all these games start at 7:00 Eastern time. Why do you do that? Why?
I don't know. You got to space it out. Put the Central Michigan game on at 9, 8:30.
Even 8:00. Come on, give us.
Clearly, something. Western Michigan, Central Michigan is the game to watch, so to speak, in the MAC tonight. So that should be the later game.
Now, don't get ahead of yourself there. I know you're excited about the main event. Toledo, Eastern Michigan, Scott. This is an Eastern Michigan squad that just hangs around. They
don't win, but they hang around.
No, you look at them play, you're like, I don't know how you're still in this game, but yet they are.
I actually like Hutchinson as a quarterback for them. I actually think he's not that bad.
This is a league with some decent quarterbacks. These guys aren't going to be playing on Sunday. At least most of them won't. But they've got some good arm talent there. They really do.
Hutchinson also is extremely mobile, so he can do a lot in the read option game and stuff like that. So he's very, very talented as a dual threat quarterback. I don't know how solid he actually is because he was gone up against Kent State and Ball State, which are two defenses that are practically handing you yards. I don't know if Toledo's going to be any different. Toledo looked great in the first game defensively against Bowling Green and gave up 3 points. And then after that, you had the fiasco against Western Michigan last week. So I don't know what to think of Toledo's defense. Usually,
Yeah.
Is that a fair way to sum up Toledo's defense? Usually, middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's about right. They play decent pass defense, but again, they haven't really played anybody that throws the ball that well. They're giving up almost 5 yards of carry on the ground, so that's not ideal. Eastern Michigan though plays even a little bit worse, giving up 5.3 yards per game on the ground. So both these teams coming off disappointing losses. I know there's different levels, different degrees of how disappointing they were, but both had double-digit leads in the fourth quarter or in the second half. And then Eastern Michigan pretty much got outplayed the second half, and Toledo got outplayed in about the last minute. So brutal victory, and you and I both wonder about how this Toledo team is going to come back on a short season after such a gut-wrenching defeat to a team that they really needed to beat. That was a huge game there against Western Michigan. So, Scott, I think that I think this Toledo team comes out looking pretty good. I think there's going to be some points scored in this one. Now, this one I will go ahead and back the over. I do have a play on the side on the premium picks, but it's 61.5. Neither one of them play great defense. I think they get it done there as far as the over goes.
Yeah, I'd lean to the over as well. Kind of similarly to what I talked about with the Ball State game. It's a matter of the fact that both defenses, unlike one of these defenses, just aren't very good. It's a matter of, you look at Eastern Michigan, they give up a ton of yards, especially on the ground. They can't stop anybody on the ground. Huntley from Ball State killed them last week. And now Toledo, Seymour might not be playing, so keep that in mind if you are going to be looking at Toledo's ground game, because Seymour might not be there. But Toledo, even though Peters can throw the ball a little bit, they do love to run the ball. And I think Toledo should have a lot of success in the trenches, running their patented halfback sweeps, stuff like that. Other than that, you look at the other side, you have Toledo, who's faced one capable offense this season and gave up 40-plus. So I think that there's a good chance that Eastern Michigan can move the ball on the ground as well. And Hutchinson also has a decent arm. I'll link to the over. I'm going to disagree with you on what you just said about Toledo, though. I'm actually going to take the points with Eastern Michigan, mostly because of the fact that I don't want to say it's a bad spot for Toledo after that massive choke job, but Eastern Michigan's been hanging around all season long. I think this game's going to be a track meet. So when in doubt, in a game where you don't expect many stops, I'm going to take the points, especially with the home team in this spot.
All right, good enough. All right, now to the main event.
I actually want to ask you, just one quick thing here. Since you have a shortened season for all these teams, et cetera, I know that you're only about 3 games in. Toledo right now, pretty much the only hope that they have of actually making a conference championship is hoping that, I guess, they beat Central Michigan and Central Michigan wins tonight. Because if Western Michigan beats Central Michigan, aren't they kind of screwed? Because they lose the tiebreaker and they're going to be a game behind in the standings?
Realistically, you would think so. I don't know. I haven't done enough digging to know what their next 3 games are, or their last 3 games, whatever.
I'm just throwing out my question moving forward.
One back, losing the tiebreaker with 3 to go, you're in a world of hurt.
Yeah, so the point that I was trying to make there, it might not apply for this week because all the games are at the same time. But in future weeks, do you think that a team like Toledo, if there was a shortened season, they got no shot at New Year's 6, they're just going to kind of go through the motions without really much intensity once they realize they can't make a MAC title game?
No, I don't. I think they still. I still think they play their hearts out, because there's going to be a limited number of bowl games for these guys as well.
I'm just throwing it out there. I think it's food for thought. That's something to keep in mind.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't. Less time to make up ground, but that's just my opinion.
All right, fair enough. Now you ready?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, main event. It's the great state of Michigan, Scott. Western Michigan, Central Michigan. Is this a rivalry game here?
It should be.
Because one team is here, and then the other team is over here. So,
see, based on my calculations, one team is based in the West, and one team is based in the Central.
More central?
Yeah, one team's a little bit more central.
The same state, though, so there's going to be bad blood with the Michiganders.
Especially with no fans.
And that's the thing. I actually had somebody write me yesterday talk about Akron and Kent State being a rivalry game. And I think rivalry games take on a lot less importance when there aren't fans in the crowd. And that's why we pretty much have discounted any kind of traditional rivalries for the most part.
I think it matters to some teams that are looking for moral victories because their teams just aren't very good.
Yeah.
Where it's a matter of, well, we're not going to win really much, so let's win one quote-unquote trophy, and we'll bring it back to the mantle. But when it comes to this matchup here, I know both teams are going to want to win this rivalry game, but at the end of the day, both teams have a shot to actually win the conference, and I think that that's probably more important than winning the rivalry game.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my opinion.
I totally agree. And this is going to be classic strength versus strength. Very good Broncos offense against a very good Central Michigan defense. At least they've played well so far. Now, there's a little bit of a caveat on that because of who this offense has played, or the defense has played. Excuse me. They gave up 10 to Northern Illinois last week, which I think we're going to find out tonight.
That's going to be a trend.
How bad that Northern Illinois offense is.
Yeah.
And then they gave up 27 to Ohio. Ohio, not good. Not good.
I think their stock looked even worse yesterday. Akron's played 3 games. 2 of the teams have scored 58+, and Ohio scored about 20.
Yeah.
That's not a good look. That's all I'm saying.
No, it isn't. You got the younger brother taking over for the older brother, and so far he looks like the younger brother there for Ohio. So I'm not convinced that this Central Michigan defense is quite as good as everybody's making him out to be. That's kind of my point. So
I agree. I do think the defense is one of the better ones in the MAC. No matter what, just watching them play, they are very physical. They do tackle well, which is important and kind of rare in a MAC team to actually see good form tackling. It's almost impossible to find. But once again, you just touched upon it. I'm not going to mention anything about his side because I'm going to be making a play of the day video on it. But I do think that it is worth mentioning that the 2 teams that Central Michigan has played up to this point are, how do I put this, below average.
Offensively challenged?
That too. In fact, they're even more offensively challenged because Ohio scored 27 points, but 1 came from a kick return touchdown.
Correct.
That is also worth mentioning. So the special team is also not as good as you might want it to be.
I don't think
with Western Michigan having arguably the best returner in the entire country.
That'll be fun to watch too. I like Ellaby. I think he's. I don't know that he's the best quarterback. There's some good quarterbacks in this conference, but I think
Ellaby's good, but they don't throw the ball enough. Western Michigan likes to run the ball, kind of use Ellaby as a deep play stretcher. But I've mentioned it numerous times. I love Eskridge as a wide receiver. He is so good.
Yep. And
he's also the kick returner, and Central Michigan's already given up a kick return touchdown this season. It's anytime he touches the ball, he's a threat to take it to the crib. And that's just something that you hope your team has when you're betting on it. Because even if things are looking bleak, it just takes 1 return, 1 play, and next thing you know, you have 7 points in 5 seconds.
Yeah, you flip it around. And they don't feature Ellaby as much as they probably should, in my opinion, but he does lead the MAC with 6 completions over 30 yards. So when they throw, they do like to stretch the field. A lot of yak on that team as well. So
Western Michigan's also averaging 5.5 yards per carry. So they have a nice balance there. Eskridge has the most receiving yards on the team by over 120. So he's the main big play guy.
Yep.
But you think MAC receivers and you think, this guy is okay, but he's not going to translate or anything like that. I mentioned Nunn from Buffalo yesterday, who had 6 of the 7 receptions for the entire Buffalo team yesterday.
Right.
Pretty good early. Eskridge is on another level. This guy is really, really good. I don't think he's Corey Davis good. Like he's going to be a first-round pick that's going to go very early.
I thought Corey Davis, when he came out, was the best receiver in the country.
I'm just saying that he had a lot of hype going in. I think Eskridge will be a middle-round pick. Worst-case scenario, immediate special teams contributor.
Yeah, I take him.
Play on Sundays. He's very good.
I take him on the Chiefs. Get rid of Sammy Watkins. And
worst case scenario, he's Cordarrelle Patterson. He's going to be a very, very good kick returner with not really much offensive talent. But I think he could actually run some routes. I think he'll make it into the NFL.
You're right. So I think you and I both have a play of the day, free play of the day on this one.
I haven't made mine yet, but I will. So stay tuned for that.
So they're both going to be on the side. You want any part of this under? It's gone down to 58. You're gonna ride the public wave again there?
It's really a tough one. I'm gonna lean under. I'm not thrilled with it, but I'm gonna lean under. Western Michigan's defense was awful last week, but I do think that the coaching staff will make some adjustments. I know that Peters threw the ball a lot more than they expected to. They were kind of stacking the box for the run game. Central Michigan, I know that their backup quarterback, the very, very undersized, muscular guy, has been pretty good so far. Richardson's been pretty good in relief. This team likes to run the ball. Central Michigan likes to eat up clock. I could see them trying to sustain long drives. The defense should be good. I think that this game will still be somewhat high scoring, but I do think that this total is a little bit high, especially with how Central Michigan loves to play offense. So I think I'm going to lean under because Toledo and Western Michigan both love to throw the ball around, go relatively fast, and try to have as many plays as they want. Central Michigan likes to slow it down, take their time a little bit, and I do think that will lead to a lower total. So for me, I'm going to lean to the under.
Okay. All right. Both these teams can run the ball pretty well. It's a rare MAC under here. And again, this isn't a hearty, full-throated endorsement, but I think we're going to lean on the total. We're probably going to both lean to the under here. It's more about clock management for me than it is about one team having a great defense. I think
just Central Michigan's going to want to run and eat up the clock.
Yeah, they're going to eat the clock every single play.
Now, the one thing that is worth mentioning is that Western Michigan was also very good against the run last week against Toledo.
Mm-hmm.
They struggled against the pass, which Central Michigan can do somewhat, but I think they prefer to run the ball. So even if Central Michigan's identity is based mostly on the ground game, if Western Michigan's defensive strength is stopping the run, then you could have a lot of long, sustaining drives that result in field goals.
Yep.
So it's pretty good for an under better.
Also true. All right, there you go, man. 3 up, 3 down. Should be a fun night of our last night of Maction.
By the way, before we fully wrap up, I feel like I should make a brief footnote because MAC football is not the only sporting event going on tonight. You got the NBA draft, and I know that there are some people betting on props and everything. I needed to talk a second about the Edwards quotes that came out yesterday. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
Okay. You know who Anthony Edwards is?
Yes.
Okay. So people should know, if you follow sports, he's supposed to be a projected top 1, top 2 pick in the draft tonight. A story came out yesterday about, I don't know, maybe 11 o'clock at night, a day before the draft. And the story came out that Edwards doesn't actually love the sport of basketball. He admitted publicly in an interview he'd rather play football and have a rap career than play basketball.
Okay.
My question here is, how do you say that publicly before you get drafted? Like, what are you doing? That's one of the dumbest quotes I've ever seen in my life. I mean, of course I'm paraphrasing. There's a long, piece about it that came out. First of all, there's a couple of things I have to wonder. One, when did he actually say this? Did the source hold out until the day before the draft to potentially screw the guy over? Because that could be a potential possibility. I don't know when he said this. He could have said it 3 months ago. I'm assuming for the sake of it, he said this recently. But how do you admit that when you're about to be the number 1 pick in the draft? Am I missing something? Like, what is happening right now?
Well, you're missing somebody that could potentially cost themselves millions of dollars. So that was good.
I don't like LaMelo Ball either as a prospect, but I don't know how you take Edwards as number 1 when he just admitted that his heart is elsewhere. He admitted that he doesn't like watching basketball. He said that. He said, I don't like watching basketball. How are you supposed to be the number 1 pick in the draft and you hate watching film?
Well, okay, so it's a little less dramatic when you start digging into the quote than people have made it appear.
I'm just saying I read through it. The rap stuff was there. The football stuff was there. There are a couple of pieces that might be being blown out of proportion, but that is not what you want to say.
I love basketball. Basketball is my heart, but football is where I started, so I'll never forget about that. But don't get me wrong. Basketball is my number 1 because I feel like it's going to get me through a lot of the stuff I need to get through.
Yeah, but if you keep reading through it, he admitted that he doesn't like watching basketball and blah, blah, blah. And he's talking about having a rap career. It was really just weird. It seemed like all of his focus is not solely on basketball. That's how I'll phrase it. But I don't know. It's not something you exactly want to hand GMs who might draft you a day before making their decision. That's all.
He likes football because you can do anything on the field. You can spike the ball. You can dance. You can do all kinds of disrespectful stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's a quote.
That is a quote.
Yeah. I don't know if it's as bad as Ryan Leaf saying that he wants to go to Vegas when he gets drafted. back. I was a massive red flag as Ryan lived like the party. But, ooh, I mean, the betting markets have responded accordingly. Edwards is a huge favorite to go first pick. Now it's roughly pick him. Lamelo's even favored in some spots. But if you're interested in the betting stuff, I don't know where Minnesota's going to go. I wouldn't take a prospect who's not fully, at least in my opinion, invested or at least in love with the sport he's playing.
I don't care.
I'm just throwing it out there. I thought that was worth talking about briefly because that is one of the most interesting comments I've ever heard by a top prospect in a sport.
Well, by interesting, you mean dumb. Even, yeah.
Dumb and interesting. It's just, I don't know why you'd ever even say that.
I'm not interested in what many 20-year-olds have to say. I'm going to be honest with you.
That's fair, too. I just don't know how the PR team that he definitely hired in order to make sure he doesn't screw up the draft let him get away with saying that.
Let him sit down for an interview? Yeah. Mm-hmm. For starters, I wouldn't do any kind of an interview.
No, there's no point to.
There's no upside. What are you going to be, a super one pick? If you're projected to go one, why are you doing interviews? Shut up.
There's only one interviews that matter, and that's the interview with the team with the number one pick.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all that matters. You don't really need to worry about the rest.
No, and here's a headline. You're 20. No one cares what you think.
Yeah, but yes. I'm just saying you can do yourself only.
You cannot be better than the one. That's it. That's it. There's no upside. No upside at all. It's a good story.
I just thought it was worth mentioning because that kind of hit Twitter last night late, and some people knew about it. Most people knew about it. Some people didn't. I just want to know what your thoughts were.
In fairness, I feel the same way about basketball. I'm pretty proficient about betting on it. Don't really care about watching, especially the NBA.
I think it's more of a work ethic concern. Because if you can make the argument that somebody's not fully into basketball, they might not be willing to sit in the gym for 5 hours a day.
I know that's the argument.
I'm not saying that that's going to be the case with Edwards. I'm just saying that that's the main concern, and admitting that he has a problem with it isn't exactly a good start to disproving those theories. That's all I'm going to say.
I get it. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. So, for those of you that don't want to watch the triple header of Mac, then you do have the NBA draft. So that'll be interesting to see as well.
I think the best part of the NBA draft is having all the picks leaked 10 minutes before they're announced on television.
Good times.
Woj and Shams, every single year, they announce every pick, every trade, and the commissioner, there's still 5 minutes on the clock for each team. And Woj is going, oh, they're going to take Josh Green out of Arizona. It's all right, cool, thanks. You don't have to watch the draft. You go to get everything on Twitter faster.
Well, if you can make bets on that accordingly, then I would load up. But
you cannot, unfortunately.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's our Mac show for today. A little bit of NBA draft thrown in for you. We really do it all around here, Scott.
I just thought it was a very, very interesting story, so I thought it was worth throwing out there late.
We'll be back with our 2 videos tomorrow. We're going to talk about the NFL game, which actually should be kind of entertaining on a Thursday night for a change. Should be a little bit of fun there. Maybe a touchdown or 2 scored. Not sure. And then we also have a couple of college games.
1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, maybe 9. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
And then the second half will start.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at a couple of decent college games. A lot of action here, buddy. A lot of action here this week. It's coming down to it. So any final thoughts?
No. Looking forward to the final week or so of midweek college football. It means I have to find stuff to do now in the middle of the week, which is pretty unfortunate.
Don't care for it.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing plays today on tennis. No, it's just it's a matter of just looking at the card going, all right, if I didn't have Mac, like if I wasn't interested in watching college football, what would I be watching? And the answer is I don't know what I'd be watching because there's nothing available.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a
Maybe the Mountain West can shuffle some. You need midweek college football. It's really just a staple. I'll tell you what, put the Sun Belt back on midweek stuff.
Yeah.
Half the games get canceled for COVID anyway. Just throw in the games in the midweek.
I agree. Put the Fun Belt on Wednesday, Thursday.
That was fun when they had Arkansas State, Georgia State, and and stuff. Yeah, do that again. Just throw them back.
But no defense. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, all right. Well, that's enough of our lamenting. If you guys are looking for deeper dives into this game, you know the drill. Get over and check out winnersandwhiners.com. Don't just take our word for it. Get over there and find out some of the finest handicappers in the country, what they have to say about these MAC games. think they have a little piece over there on the NBA draft as well. If you are interested in that, check it out. And of course, we wish you guys nothing but the best today. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back at the window. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at winnersandwhiners.com, appreciate you watching. And, hey, give us a like, give us a subscribe if you haven't done so already. Give us a comment. Let us know what you're on. We'll be back to talk a little more football tomorrow, Scotty. But until then, you guys take care, and we'll see you tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. Bye-bye.